Welcome to Cathy's Eclectic Garden. I'm Cathy. Today we are going to talk about cardinal flowers. We'll be right back. Lobelia cardinalis, cardinal flower. This is an Ohio native, and it's one of the hummingbird's favorite pollinator plants. It's a short-lived perennial that only lives for, they say 1 or 2 years, but I've seen online where people have had it for up to 5 years. But it does reseed itself. It's hardy in zones 3 to 9. It likes full sun and partial shade. And where I've got it planted here, it gets full sun in the morning till probably around 1 or 2 o'clock. And then when the sun gets more to the west, it gets shaded in the late afternoon. So I've got it in a really good spot here. It has red flowers and it blooms from the bottom of the plant to the top. The flower stalk, which is this right here, gets 2 to 4 feet tall, and it has tubular flowers. And the flowers are 1 to 2 inches long. Cardinal flower has a short taproot. Well, you can deadhead it. You'll cut off a lot of your seed pods if you want to collect the seeds. Cardinal flowers have basal leaves. And when these are the basal leaves here at the bottom of the plant, and then the bloom stalk comes up out of that. And that's what the flowers bloom on. This is a basal plant of the cardinal flower. It doesn't have a bloom stalk this year because I just started that one in probably January or February and grew it indoors. I put it out about a month and a half ago. It was about half that size, or maybe even a little smaller. So it's grown that much in about 2 months. This year, when winter comes, I will leave that uncovered because they stay green all winter. The next spring, the bloom stalk will come up on it and it'll have flowers like the other one I've got. Cardinal flower reseeds itself, and this is where the flower buds were. And these little bulbs right here are the seed pods, and there are thousands of little teeny tiny black seeds in there. They're almost like dust. They're so small. I've never seen seeds as small as what's in those. My husband's a nature photographer, and he likes to take flower pictures and bird pictures, and he discovered that when he stands over a cardinal flower and takes a picture of it from the top, it looks like this huge plant. So when the hummingbirds are flying around looking for flowers to get nectar from, they see from up above what looks like this great big huge flower. And then when they fly down, it's multiple flower stalks sticking up. The hummingbirds and the cardinal flower have somewhat of a symbiotic relationship because the hummingbird comes down and gets nectar from the flower. And when it does that, it also pollinates the flower. So that helps the flower and it helps the hummingbird. Cardinal flowers like mesic to wet areas, and they actually tolerate flooding. They will stand in or grow in standing water. So you don't want to let them dry out because they don't like dry soil. They like a rich soil, so if your soil is kind of borderline, you might want to add some compost when you plant them. And if they get yellowing leaves, that's a sign of nutrition deficiency in the soil. And you can just top dress them with a little compost, and that should take care of that. Now, late in the season, they can get a leaf spot fungus or mildew, but that's primarily cosmetic and it won't kill the plant. As I've said before, they attract hummingbirds. They also attract butterflies and bumblebees. There are some nice companion plants that you can plant with cardinal flower, Liatris spicata. And I have a Liatris spicata planted nearby where I have my cardinal flowers. They also go good with swamp milkweed and Monarda didyma, which is the red bee balm. And those plants all bloom before the cardinal flower does. So that would give you some flower color until the red lobelia starts to flower. Now, something that I had never really thought too much about, and that is that herbaceous perennials, there aren't too many red ones. There's the cardinal flower, there's the red bee balm, which is Monarda didyma. There's a fire pink, I don't know the botanical name for that one. And another one is royal catchfly, which is Silene regia. And those are the main red blooming herbaceous perennials. I'm sure you can think of some others. If you do, put them in the comments. The common name for cardinal flower didn't come from the cardinal bird. It came from the scarlet vestments that were worn by high-ranking officials of the Catholic Church. And that's why they call it the cardinal flower, because of that color. Now, there are several cultivars of red lobelia, and I've got one in my garden. It's called fan Scarlet, and we'll take a little break and get the camera moved, and I'll show you that one. Now we are in the Messick rain garden, and this is where my fan Scarlet lobelia is planted. This is Lobelia X speciosa, and it's a hybrid between Lobelia cardinalis and Lobelia, and I'm going to murder this one, sphalytica. This grows 2 feet tall and 14 inches wide, so it's a little bit shorter than the cardinal flower, and it's hardy in zones 3B to 7B, and it also has red flowers. But unlike the cardinal flower, which has green foliage, the fan Scarlet has a purpley dark foliage. So that makes a striking difference between the two. This one also likes full to part sun and consistent water. And it blooms earlier. It blooms midsummer to fall. And it lives for approximately 5 years, and you can propagate this one by division. So this is fan Scarlet. That's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We will be back soon with more videos. Until then, you have a nice day. Goodbye.